You've studied English for 5, 10, maybe even 15 years, but when someone speaks to you in English, your mind freezes. You know the grammar and you've passed the exams, but you still can't speak. Why? Is it your fault or is the system broken? Xin chào các bạn. Mình là Brooklyn Day. Welcome back to Brooklyn KHôNG. If this sounds like your experience, let me tell you something important. You're not alone, and you're not the problem. I've met so many Vietnamese students, people who are hardworking, smart, and motivated, who often feel ashamed because they can't speak English after years of study. But the truth is, the public education system has some flaws when it comes to language learning. Most schools focus on grammar, writing, and especially test scores. You memorize vocabulary lists. You learn rules, you practice for exams, but you rarely practice real life speaking. That means even after years of study, you've been trained to pass a test and you haven't really trained to communicate. Let's be honest. In many public schools, students might have English class 3 times a week, but the class has 40 to 50 students. So who really gets to practice speaking? Usually, almost no one. You listen, you write, and you might get to answer one question, and then the bell rings. This kind of learning is not designed to help you speak fluently. It's designed to help you pass the national exam. And the sad result? You can read English, maybe even write it, but when it's time to speak, your voice disappears. Now, here's where the story gets even harder. In Vietnam today, if you want better English education, you often have to pay a lot of money. You go to private centers, foreign teachers, speaking clubs, IELTS prep courses. But not everyone can afford that. So we have a big question to face. Should English be only for the rich? Or should we create a system that helps everyone, no matter where they come from or how much money they have? Because, let's be real, English isn't just another language anymore. It's a tool for getting better jobs, traveling, learning online, and building a better future, and everyone deserves that chance. So, why can't you speak English fluently yet? Because you've practiced grammar more than conversation. Because you've focused on perfection, not communication. Because you've learned about English, but haven't used it in your real life. But here's the good news. You can fix it. Even without an expensive class, even if you're shy, even if you're busy. Here's how. Number 1, speak a little bit every day. You don't need 2 hours. Just start with 5 minutes and slowly move to 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. Talk to yourself and describe what you're doing. Practice out loud every day, no excuses. Number 2, stop trying to be perfect. Native speakers make mistakes too. Perfection stops you from speaking. You can't build fluency by sitting around and being fearful. Fluency only comes through practicing repeatedly. Number 3, make English part of your daily life. Change your phone to English. Watch YouTube in English. Listen to English music or a podcast. Do what you already enjoy, just in English. Number 4, connect what you've learned to real life. Don't just memorize it, but use it. For example, don't just learn the grammar rule of conditional sentences. Instead, speak it out and use the rule. If you were going to use the rule, you would say things like, if I study tonight, I will pass the test tomorrow. Or if I had more time, what would I do? If she had left earlier, she wouldn't have missed the bus. That's real practice. And finally, number 5, find ways to get feedback. Talk to a friend or a tutor. Ask questions. Learn from your mistakes. Feedback helps you grow 10 times faster. Let me say something important again. If you can't speak English well, even after years of study, it's not because you're not smart. It's because the system didn't support you. Vietnamese students are some of the most hardworking people I've ever met. You memorize, you grind, you take extra classes, but the system has trained you to pass exams, not to express yourself. So it's time for a new approach. Public education in Vietnam needs more speaking-based classes, more interactive lessons, and more equal access so that English isn't just for the top 10%. We need to stop treating English as a school subject and start treating it as a life skill. Because in the future, knowing English can change your life, but only if we make the way we teach it more human, more real, and more fair. So, if you feel stuck, embarrassed, or frustrated with your English speaking, don't give up. You didn't fail. You haven't failed. The system failed you, but you still have power to take control. So start small, speak more, make mistakes, and be curious. Get feedback, because English doesn't belong in a classroom. It belongs to you. If this message speaks to you, please leave me a comment. Tell me about your English learning experience. And if you believe English should be for everyone, not just the wealthy, why don't you share this video with a friend? Let's build a future where all Vietnamese learners from every province and background have the tools they need to truly speak English and speak it with confidence.